Phase 4.
Flambe.
We don't know if we'll ever get over the epic Stranger Things season 4 finale. We're absolutely hungry as a Demogorgon for more. So we've pulled together everything we know so far about the upcoming 5th and final season. And obviously, spoilers ahead.
It's killing back now.
/ Henry.
/ what?
First, we're definitely left with some major cliffhangery elements. Hawkins is literally on fire. And Max, wake up! But surprise, season 5 will not pick up right where season 4 left off. And at least part of that is because our young leads, well, they're growing up fast. Series co-creator Ross Duffer told TVLine in June, quote, "I'm sure we will do a time jump. Ideally, we'd have shot seasons 4 and 5 back to back, but there was just no feasible way to do that." But even with that time jump, series co-creator Matt Duffer told Deadline that season 5 is, quote, "less of a restart than we normally do. We ended up splitting season 4, which was not originally a plan, but we did volume 1 and volume 2. Season 5 is more really like part 2 of season 4. Meanwhile, when it comes to episode runtimes, the Duffer brothers said on the Happy Sad Confused podcast that they don't expect the final season to be stretched over as many hours as season 4. That's mainly because we'll be thrown right into the action.
Characters are already going to be in action. They're already going to have a goal and a drive. And I think that's going to carve out at least a couple hours.
But the series finale, that's a different story.
I'm sure the wrap-up will be a lot longer. It's going to be Return of the King-ish.
Matt also told the podcast that Stranger Things 5 would pay homage to the first season. Quote, "We want to go back to a lot of the things we did in season 1, a lot of the original groupings and pairings that we had in season 1. There's something nice about coming full circle." And in another throwback, our heroes won't be scattered all over the place like in season 4. They'll all be together in good old Hawkins, which has seen better days. And it's probably going to get worse. Or, in Vecna/Henry/One's mind, a whole lot better. Here's what actor Jamie Campbell Bower told TVLine.
He's always had designs to reshape, as he says, and remake the world as he sees it. His experience has led him to this point of believing and actually knowing, not necessarily believing, but knowing that people present a falsity and this world is just full of liars. He really wants to change that for the greater good.
Which brings us to the very dearly departed Eddie.
I would have loved to have come back, but the grown-ups decide.
Sadly, the grown-ups have also confirmed that the Hellfire Club leader is absolutely and truly dead. But the Duffers also tell the Happy Sad Confused podcast that his passing will have huge repercussions for those he left behind. Chalk up Papa as another confirmed death. But Matthew Modine's Dr. Brenner seems all but guaranteed to appear in season 5 flashbacks. The Duffers told Deadline that we'll learn more about how the scientists sold the government on the idea of using one to fight the Soviets. We'll also find out, quote, what happened to that program once Henry became involved and how Brenner evolved it into including multiple kids. Yeah, but what about Max? Season 4 left Sadie Sink's Kate Bush-loving badass in such a terrible state that 11 couldn't even locate her in her mind. Max! Ross told Deadline, quote, Max's mind has completely gone blank. She's not really alive in the sense that you and I think of alive. But we're guessing, hoping, praying that also doesn't mean that she's dead? Meanwhile, one of the biggest moments from season 4, volume 2 was Will's speech to Mike.
When you're different, sometimes you feel like a mistake.
Even though his best friend didn't catch the undeniable subtext, Will's brother sure did.
I don't want you to forget that I'm here. And I'll always be here. No matter what. Because you're my brother. And I love you.
Now that Jonathan is clued into his kid brother's sexual orientation, Ross told Deadline, quote, that journey of Will's character is going to continue, and that's really going to be his arc as we move into the final season and complete that journey. Speaking of Will, in season 4, volume 1, we learned that the Upside Down had made a Groundhog Day of the day he disappeared back in season 1.
This diary should be full of entries. It's not. The last entry is November 6, 1983. The day Will went missing. The day the gate opened.
Ross explained to Deadline, quote, that is really the key plot point, the key question that's going to drive our final season as we try to wrap up this story and give the rest of the answers out. And finally, the biggest question on everyone's mind, how long are we going to have to wait for all these answers? Thanks to the pandemic, nearly 3 years passed between seasons 3 and 4. But we have some good news. The Duffers told Variety, quote, the gap between seasons 4 and 5 should be quite a bit shorter this time, due to the fact that we already have an initial outline and we can't imagine there will be another 6-month forced hiatus. Dude, don't tempt fate. Anyway, head to TVLine for much more Stranger Things, and let us know your predictions and hopes for season 5 in the comments. For TVLine.com, I'm Kim Roots.